Hi guys, welcome, and if you're new here, my name is Elaine, and on this channel we talk mostly about bags from mid-range to vintage luxury. And today I'm going to be talking about this mid-range brand called Liffner. So Liffner used to be called Little Liffner, but I guess somewhere along the way, maybe a year or two ago, they dropped the little and now they're just called Liffner. They are a mid-range bag brand out of Sweden. So more specifically Stockholm, but most of their bags are made in Florence, Italy. And so today I'll be talking about this mini bowling bag. I got this one off of Shopbop. Originally this bag was priced at $650, went on sale, and then I got another 30% off, so it came out to about $318. Which I thought was a pretty good deal. So this bag is made of smooth calf skin, which I would say it's a fairly nice quality. Yeah, smells like leather, which is, always a good sign. Sometimes with mid-range bags, that's not always the case. Pretty sure this is Italian leather, made in Italy. Has 2 zippers that work fairly well, and the inside it is lined in fabric. It looks like some sort of like a little bit rough, but like a cotton canvas, which I like. Very simple. Inside there is excuse me, there is a leather card slot as well as a zippered pocket. Okay, yeah, zippered pocket. And on the bottom there's very, very small feet, which I don't think help that much. It doesn't raise it off. It doesn't raise it off the ground substantially, but there is just a panel here. The leather is quite, it's nice. It feels nice to the touch, but it does scratch fairly easily. So this is brand new. I've not even used it, and I can see a couple of scratches already on the bottom here. And then on the top here where the zipper is, I also see a couple scratches that were not made by me. That's just how the bag came. And does also come with a very thin shoulder strap, which hooks onto these little D-rings that are hidden behind the handles, which is cute. I do appreciate the shoulder strap. I don't think that, I kind of think it's a little too thin to be comfortable. It has clips there. Quality wise, I think this is a pretty good quality bag. The leather is nice. I would say my only critique is this zipper's kind of wonky. I think the hardware in general could be upgraded a little bit, especially for $600. This kind of feels like a cheap zipper. It's very shiny. It just looks and feels cheap. Also, if they were going to put feet, you might as well put something that's a little more substantial that would actually raise it off the ground. Otherwise, also it would be nice that it would have like a 5th foot here to kind of help it stay off the ground, because I do think that, I don't know if you can see how it bows, but it's gonna touch the bottom of the ground no matter what. Things I do like about this bag, I do like that it has a crossbody strap. I do wish it was a little bit thicker, but I can always change it out if I wanted to. Though they are fairly tiny D-rings, so I would have to look for something that would fit on that. But I also really like these handles. So I feel like this is sort of a Liffner signature, is to have these really nice design, something different. Both sides has a circle and a point. Edging looks pretty good, looks nice. Sure, the leather has scratches, but that's just sort of the nature of this beast. I think they are using pretty good leather. This is the Liffner mini bowling bag. They have quite a few designs. I think they all look pretty nice. I chose this one because I'm definitely in my bowling bag, Boston bag phase. Oh, and I should also mention, I kind of wish the handles were rolled. So as you can see, the handles are flat. Flat handles work, but they're not as comfortable as rolled handles. It is a well-made bag. For $318, it is, I think, 100% worth it. For full price at $600, I don't know. For $600, dollars plus, it's $650, and then with tax, you're looking closer to $700. I would expect hardware to be a little bit better and, maybe a little bit more comfort features like rolled handles or a thicker crossbody strap or shoulder strap. It's a quick little review. I can do a quick what fits. So my current carry bag is a vintage Louis Vuitton monogram, mini monogram. I think it's called the Josephine. I'm not sure. So I just bought this off of Brandier. It's my Y2K nostalgia bag. That's what's inside. And so let's see what fits. Wallet, sunglasses, sunscreen, cough drops, mini mom pouch, hand sanitizer, lip product. All right, so just kind of threw it in there, but as you can see, ample space for everything. Let's see if I can also fit a water bottle. So yes, I'm pretty sure you can. Easy. All right, let me bring my mini iPad and mini iPad. Let me see. Will it fit? Yes, and a mini iPad also fits up top here, and you can close it very easily. Nice. So I would say capacity is pretty good. Not too big, not too small. Definitely will carry all your essentials. If you're traveling with it, maybe like a camera would also fit. Oh, and a little bit about the dust bag that it came in. So it's a very nice dust bag, cotton canvas with their logo and labeled. So yeah, pretty good. And then, so I'm gonna just compare it real quick with my other mini bowling bag from another mid-range brand. This is from Songmont. So Songmont is out of China, made in China with Chinese leathers that they've kind of are learning to tan in the European style. This is a pebbled leather one, and it's kind of like Polen's leather, but smell-wise, doesn't have really too much of a leathery smell. It's just more neutral smelling. Nothing bad, but just not like leather. And as you can see quickly that the Songmont bag is just a tiny bit smaller. Yeah, for length, height, and width. So it would fit a water bottle on the bottom, but then it would be pretty full once you put all the essentials in. So I'm just gonna do a quick transfer and let's see. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit bigger, this Liffner one is nice. Yeah, ooh, it's already quite packed. I mean, I guess it does fit everything. All right, so the Songmont bag does fit everything minus the iPad, of course, but the water bottle is at the bottom, at the biggest portion here. So if I were to try to dig it out, it would be quite a pain. I did also want to use this Songmont bag as an example because price point wise, it is about half the price of the Liffner bag when it's not on sale. So $650 full retail price. This one is $349 full retail price, including shipping and everything. So when it's on sale, sure, yeah, this is comparable. But when it's not on sale, basically the Liffner is double the price. Granted, they're making their product in Italy with Italian leathers. But in terms of comfort and utility, this is what I mean when, Songmont tends to be a little bit more thoughtful in their design. So first off, they did go for rolled handles, which is nice. It makes it a much more comfortable like hand feel. What ends up happening with these flat handles is that these edges here, they're stiff, they're hard, and they're going to dig into your hand, especially if this bag is, weighed down. And then again, the shoulder strap, it might not look as chic, but utility-wise, this is going to be so much more comfortable on your shoulder. This one here is going to dig in for sure, especially if you're going to end up carrying a lot more items. And then even the zipper, it's not as wonky. It's pretty straight. This one, especially when you have it opened, it looks wonky, but even when you close it, it's not smooth. There's definitely ripples. So construction-wise, Songmont kind of wins there. And then also the feet. So as you can see, the feet on the Songmont, quite raised, so, you know, it actually sits on the feet versus this one. Honestly, the feet is more just for looks. So I think utility-wise, comfort, function, I prefer Songmont. Leather-wise too, I also prefer the grained calf skin. It just is more durable. I've used this a lot of times already, actually, quite a few times, and not a scratch on it. And then, of course, this one, I have used it 0 times. Still has a tag on it, and it has quite a few scratches and indents. I think, honestly, if these handles were rolled, I would have probably kept this bag. As it stands right now, I just don't think I'm going to use it. I mean, it's too bad because the leather is really nice, but the hardware just isn't great, and then the function utility of it isn't great. So yeah, even for $318, I think if given the choice, I would go for this. If I needed to carry a mini iPad, the larger capacity of this probably would make it worth it, but I don't need to carry a mini iPad around. But in general, I think for me, I've also been kind of just moving away from smooth leathers just because I know myself and I'm not huge on having a ton of scratches on a bag, and I am pretty rough with my bags, so I don't really need 2 bowling bags. I also have a lot of brown bags. And then, oh, let me just weigh it before I go. So it's 1 pound exactly. Yeah. So as far as bags go, like, you know, 1 pound is sort of my sweet spot. I wouldn't discount Liffner. You know, I might purchase another one in the future, but also I probably would more likely look for it on sale. $650 is a little steep. I mean, that's in Pollen territory. If I had to choose between Liffner and Pollen, I would probably go with Pollen. If I had to choose between Songmont and Liffner, I also probably would go with Songmont. So, I mean, that's just my personal preference. If you're really into the leather smell, then so far I feel like Liffner might have the other 2 beat. Anyways, I think that's it. Just a very quick review today, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would greatly appreciate a like or subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.